Welcome back to Important Updates. Global news without the noise. Subscribe to stay updated. Why are there not more people talking about how India's $15 billion high-speed rail dream turned into a cautionary tale? India once dreamed of a high-speed rail network, a bold vision that captured the imagination of millions. The idea was to revolutionize travel across the subcontinent, making journeys that once took hours or even days possible in a fraction of the time. This wasn't just about trains. It was about transforming the very way people moved, worked, and connected. The plan aimed to connect India's largest and most dynamic cities with unprecedented speed and efficiency, shrinking distances and bringing people closer together. It promised to make business trips, family visits, and tourism easier than ever before, while also easing congestion on existing rail lines. At the heart of this dream was a $15 billion project, a symbol of India's determination to join the ranks of global infrastructure leaders. The government envisioned gleaming stations, cutting-edge technology, and a new era of mobility that would rival the world's best. The high-speed rail plan promised to slash travel times dramatically, boost economic growth by connecting key markets, and modernize India's vast but aging railway system. It was seen as a catalyst for job creation, regional development, and technological advancement. Inspired by China's rapid and impressive success in building the world's largest high-speed rail network, Indian leaders saw their own project as a leap toward world-class development. They hoped to replicate China's achievements and showcase India's potential on the global stage. For many, the project was about more than just trains. It was a matter of national pride, a symbol of progress, and a promise of a more prosperous future for generations to come. It inspired hope and excitement across the country. But as of January 2026, this grand vision lies in ruins. Missed deadlines, soaring costs, and miles of unbuilt tracks have left the project stalled. What began as a beacon of hope has become a sobering reminder of the challenges of turning dreams into reality. The bullet trains never arrived. The project collapsed under its own weight, hampered by bureaucratic delays, funding shortfalls, and a fractured international partnership that failed to deliver on its promises. Its failure stands as a cautionary tale, a story of ambition, politics, and clashing expectations. It reminds us that even the grandest visions require careful planning, unity, and relentless execution to become reality. The journey toward a transformative partnership between India and China began to take shape in the mid-2010s, a period marked by rapid economic growth and ambitious national visions on both sides. India, with its burgeoning population and expanding cities, recognized the urgent need to modernize its infrastructure to support future growth and improve the quality of life for millions. As India looked outward, seeking global partners to help realize its infrastructure dreams, the government prioritized projects that could have a lasting impact on the nation's development. High-speed rail, in particular, stood out as a symbol of progress and technological advancement. However, while India's railways were vast and historic, they lacked the expertise and technology required to build and operate trains capable of reaching speeds of 300 kilometers per hour or more. The gap between aspiration and capability was clear. Meanwhile, China had rapidly developed the world's largest and most advanced high-speed rail network, connecting distant cities with remarkable efficiency. Its experience and technological prowess made it an ideal partner for India's ambitions. Beijing stepped forward with a compelling offer. Not only would China provide attractive financing and cutting-edge technology, but it would also commit to transferring key know-how to Indian partners. This approach fit perfectly with India's Make in India policy, which aimed to foster domestic manufacturing and reduce reliance on imports. The two nations quickly moved from discussions to action. Joint feasibility studies were launched, and formal agreements were signed. Plans were drawn up for Chinese engineers to collaborate closely with Indian teams, sharing expertise and building local capacity. The vision extended beyond simply importing high-speed trains. The goal was to nurture a robust domestic industry, one that could design, manufacture, and maintain advanced rail systems for decades to come, creating jobs and technological self-reliance. Optimism soared as the partnership was celebrated in the media and by officials from both countries. Many hailed it as a shining example of South-South cooperation, demonstrating how developing nations could work together for mutual benefit. By 2018, after extensive planning and negotiation, specific project segments were identified, and initial funding discussions began in earnest. The collaboration was no longer just an idea, it was becoming a reality. With both sides committed and the groundwork laid, the stage was set for what many hoped would be a monumental achievement in bilateral cooperation, promising to reshape the future of transportation in India and strengthen ties between two of Asia's giants. Optimism quickly faded as the project hit major roadblocks. Land acquisition became a nightmare, with legal battles and political opposition stalling progress for years. Technical disputes erupted over adapting Chinese technology to India's climate and safety standards. India demanded customization. China resisted, slowing blueprints and procurement. Financial disagreements over loan terms and fears of a debt trap led to a funding stalemate. Clashing work cultures, China's top-down speed versus India's consensus-driven bureaucracy, bred frustration. The Chinese saw Indian processes as slow, Indians saw Chinese methods as inflexible. These tensions turned minor issues into major disputes. The partnership began to unravel under the weight of these persistent challenges. As delays mounted, India shifted blame to China, accusing it of inflexibility and broken promises. India claimed China resisted genuine technology transfer, preferring to keep India dependent on Chinese imports. Disputes over local manufacturing and proprietary knowledge deepened mistrust. Financial terms were criticized as opaque and restrictive, with China allegedly leveraging loans for control. Border tensions in 2020 further soured relations, making continued cooperation untenable. The project's collapse was framed as a consequence of China's aggressive posture and lack of trust. National security concerns sealed the project's fate. The project's failure also reflected deep differences in approach. China's centralized, top-down model enables rapid, standardized construction, often overriding local concerns. India's democratic consultative process requires consensus among governments, landowners, and communities. Slower, but more inclusive. China prioritized efficiency. India prioritized adaptation and negotiation. Route alignments became battlegrounds. China favored direct paths. India weighed social costs. What China saw as inefficiency, India saw as democratic necessity. The two systems proved fundamentally incompatible for a project of this scale. Importing technology wasn't enough. The political and social systems had to align. The partnership faltered on this irreconcilable difference. As the project crumbled, Indian officials built a narrative of Chinese betrayal. The railway minister accused China of stalling on technology sharing and treating India as a mere market. Security concerns grew. Embedding Chinese tech in critical infrastructure was seen as a strategic risk. Border clashes amplified these fears, making the partnership politically impossible. The Prime Minister began championing Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliance, as the new path forward. The project's failure became a rallying cry for independence from unreliable partners. India recast itself as the victim of a strategic miscalculation. The official story, safeguarding national interests, justified the project's demise. The collapse was slow and painful. By 2025, work had stalled, budgets had ballooned, and capital had dried up. Indian Railways quietly reassigned staff, signaling retreat. The government canceled Chinese contracts on other projects, citing security. New tenders favored trusted partners, effectively excluding China. China protested, but the partnership was beyond repair. Unfinished structures and wasted land became monuments to the failed dream. The $15 billion project ended as a stark warning about the risks of grand ambitions and geopolitical entanglements. The failed project left India with hard lessons. Over-reliance on a single, complicated partner proved dangerous. Future projects will scrutinize not just costs, but technology transfer, local manufacturing and data control. Domestic hurdles, land, bureaucracy, and coordination must be fixed before pursuing mega projects. The experience spurred a renewed push for self-reliance in rail technology. India now aims to build indigenous expertise, even if progress is slower. Diversifying partnerships is key. Japan's approach on the Mumbai-Ahmedabad corridor is now the preferred model. The character of partners matters as much as their technology. India will favor consortiums and trusted allies over single-country solutions. The dream of high-speed rail in India is very much alive, but it's evolving into something new and uniquely Indian. While the original vision of bullet trains crisscrossing the nation remains, the approach has shifted to fit the country's realities and ambitions. Today, the focus is on building a rail network that is not only fast, but also sustainable, inclusive, and tailored to India's diverse needs. At the heart of this transformation is the Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed corridor, developed in partnership with Japan. This project is more than just a rail line. It's a symbol of technological collaboration and a crucial test case for India's high-speed ambitions. The world is watching to see if India can deliver on this promise, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Success on this corridor will be a turning point, restoring confidence in India's ability to execute complex infrastructure projects. It will show that India can overcome challenges, innovate, and set new standards for rail travel in the region. Rather than waiting for a nationwide high-speed network, India is taking a step-by-step approach. The plan is to incrementally upgrade existing routes to semi-high speed, using advanced, domestically produced trains like the Vande Bharat Express. This strategy allows for faster implementation, cost savings, and the development of homegrown expertise. By focusing on gradual improvements, India is building a strong foundation, training its workforce, modernizing stations, and upgrading tracks. Each milestone achieved adds to the nation's capabilities, ensuring that progress is steady and sustainable. International partnerships remain important, but India is now more selective, choosing to work with trusted allies from Europe and Japan. These collaborations bring in world-class technology and expertise, while also respecting India's vision for self-reliance. The era of relying on single-country turnkey solutions is over. India is diversifying its partnerships, learning from global best practices, and ensuring that no single player dominates its rail future. The collapse of the China-backed rail project was a setback, but it also marked a turning point. It highlighted the risks of overdependence and underscored the need for greater self-sufficiency and careful partner selection. Now, India is embracing a new path, one that values self-reliance, diversified partnerships, and steady, incremental progress. The focus is on building a rail system that serves the nation's needs and stands the test of time. The dream of high-speed rail is being rebuilt, perhaps more slowly than once imagined, but on a foundation that is stronger, more resilient, and truly Indian. The journey ahead is long, but the future of India's railways has never looked more promising.